Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. Today's video, jumping right in, we're talking about what's available at a price point of $750,000. And last week's video we talked about the same thing but at a $500,000 price point, and we had a lot of good feedback and some comments, and I think really it was eye-opening for a lot of people just to see how maybe little inventory there really is right now. And what we started with, and what we'll start with again today, is everything that's available on the MLS. But then once you put in your search criteria, your single family homes, your lakefront or off-lake options, your price point, you see that number drastically shrinks. When that number shrinks, you also realize that depending on the location of where you want that home, that number shrinks even more. And so it was very eye-opening when we did the 500 kind of thousand range. We wanted to do a range of around 750. And so what we'll do here in a little bit is I'll jump in the office, I'll pull up the MLS, and we'll go through and click through and try to show you, right, again, what's available. We're doing all of this with intention that, hey, there might not be a lot of things available today, but there will be in the future. So your best bet is to be prepared, right? And reach out to us, right? So call me, text me, email, let's do a Zoom call. Let's have a conversation on what your needs are, what your wants are. And then we want to get you set up on a home search so you can see everything that's available right now today, but more importantly, everything that's going to become available in the future. So as we get out of the winter months, as we get into spring and summer, that inventory level is going to rise. You're going to find something that you like, and we just want to make sure that we're prepared, right? We've taken a trip to the lake, so we know the area that we want to be in. We're dialed in with our finances. If we're leveraging a mortgage, cool. But the whole intention is to show you maybe inventory levels are a little lower than they once were, but they are going to increase, and so we want to be prepared when that does. So we're going to jump in the office. I'm going to pull up the MLS. We're going to go through price points of 750. Let's check it out. All right, guys, so here we go. Just like last week, I wanted to jump in the office. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go through the same kind of process we did, last week at the price point of 500, where you started to see everything that's available. And then as you started to put in your search criteria, you started to see that number shrink. Okay, so you had a good idea of just inventory, right? What's available in my price point, lakefront, off-lake options, and then, right, you started to realize that on top of the lowest inventory, you can tell that depending on where you want to purchase on the lake, you could have even lower options. And so we want to do the same thing. Again, the purpose of this is just to try to connect some dots for you. And then ultimately, again, we would be setting you up on your own personal home search. So let's share screens. Let me figure out how to shrink myself again. I'm going to go a little lower. Okay, cool. So here we go, same concept, map of Missouri, same thing, 1,520 listings on the MLS right now. We know kind of where the location of the lake is, Kansas City, St. Louis, go to the middle, go down, that's where you're gonna find all those listings. And so what we wanna do really quick on this bird's eye view is jump up into the criteria of the search, and we wanna start to change a few things. So we're always gonna stick with a coming soon and for sale, but on the property types, I just want to look at single family homes. Okay, so I'm going to take out all this other stuff. We're going to go from 1520 down to 413 right off the bat. Then we're going to change our price point. So just like last week, we gave ourselves a little bit of a cushion. So I'm going to go 650 to basically 850. Thinking we're talking about 750 kind of in the middle. So last week we went 400 to 600. So we apply this filter, we're going to go from 413 down to 51. So very, very similar to last week where we started to see this type of decrease. So 51 lakefront and off-lake options at a 650 to 850 price point. We would be setting you up with your bedrooms and bathrooms. We're going to leave that alone for now. And we'd set you up with anything else you're looking for, fireplaces, pools, garages, whatever. But for this one, I just want to look at lakefront homes, and we go from 50-ish down to 30-ish. So we started over 1,500 and we're down to 30. Now these 30 are all over the lake. So again, it goes back to, where do you want to live on the lake? Do you want to be up in the, Osage area, Village of Four Seasons, in the heart, in the congestion and all the activity, or do you want to be further down the lake? So we're going to slowly start to scroll in a little bit. And we're going to start to connect some dots on, kind of, hey, what's available? And if we just wanted to stick with, I guess, the upper part of the lake, right? So the head, the neck, the belly area, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15-ish kind of options up here in the upper section, right? And so great options. Again, it depends on which side of the lake you want to live on, depends on what amenities you need close by, but then that kind of gives you some options. We go over here to the left-hand side, you have kind of your newer listings. You can kind of scroll down and you can see, all the properties that are kind of available. And this is what you would see right now today. And then obviously moving forward, you would be getting your own filter searches. And so if we wanted to take a look at a couple of these that are up in this upper area, here's a unique home. So this gives you an idea of a couple things. Number one, this is what you call xeriscape. So if you're looking for a low maintenance property that you don't have to mow the yard or do anything, then you just create a whole bunch of rock. This one's unique. You actually have stairs that come right through the seawall. So that's kind of unique and interesting. You're clearly kind of on a back end of a cove here. So here's the dock for this place. It's a single well kind of dock. Home's in really good shape. Kind of nestled in the back there, and it's kind of a blank slate for you to do whatever you'd want to do. So when we get into these pictures, I'm just going to kind of scroll quickly just so you have an idea. But I think this is a really nice home. This could be a good option. And we'll take a look at some other ones. So we'll scroll up a little bit. This property I'm going to check out, but it's further down the lake. Let's take a look at this one. This looks like a really nice home. Very modern look. It's an open floor plan. Nestled up in the woods. You have a little path going down to the water. Kind of again, just really a blank slate for you to do whatever you want. There's your lot. Oh my gosh. These are the kind of properties that if I ever show my wife and she sees that tub, I'm in trouble. She's a tub girl, and man, she would love to have a tub like that because she don't got one right now. So anyway, I think this is a really good home, good option. Just trying to show you a few things here. Let's go back. Let's keep scrolling up a little bit. This property right here at 675, it is literally in the heart of Osage. These two, this one's at 775, this one's at 675. Those are in the middle of everything. So let's just take a peek. Normal property, built on the hillside, deck is on stilts. You have 2 wells, a slide and a swim platform off the side. You can tell the steepness of some of these properties once you start scrolling on them. Right, you're kind of parking up top. You can see the top of the house, and then the home slants downward. Pretty well maintained. Unique bathtub. So again, this kind of gives you an idea of what your homes would be like if you were kind of up in this area. This one caught my eye on the way down. And man, I mean, this just looks like a nice cozy house. Like, couldn't you just sit here, fireplace on, you got the game, you got the lake out back. I mean, this is what it's about. A huge deck, plenty of entertainment space. You have some trees that'll block the sun at time to time. You have your dock, your single well dock with a jet ski and a swim platform. You're kind of on the bigger part of the water, but this is a really clean house. Modern look, kind of move-in ready. Yeah, I'm a fan of this one. So this is either a short-term rental or these guys got a lot of kids. Look at that. That's like a triple bunk bed queen size thing. Goodness gracious. I only have 2 kids, so I don't need that thing. Anyway, so you got some cool options. There's one up here towards Gravius Mills. I'm curious. Let's just look at this one real quick. Nice view. Big water view, kind of standard. You can see the top of the house, but you can't see the back because it's sloping down into the water. Open floor plan. You know, more perched up on a hill with those big, massive views. You know, clearly this one is laid out for these people's palate, but nice house. Okay, so another good kind of option. So anyway, that just kind of connects the dots a little bit on what's available towards the upper part of the lake. But again, if you're not looking for congestion, you want a little bit remote, then we're gonna scroll around, right? So there was what, 30 options, and then now we can move a little bit further down the lake, and you have Camdenton down here to the south with a couple of options. You have the Hurricane Deck, and then on down the road, right? So we have our property right here on this cove, and if this is the area you're looking for, which is on this side of Hurricane Deck, you really only have 4 choices right now. Okay, 5. There's ones further down the lake. So not a lot, which means there's not a lot going on right now, but there could be more moving forward. So we can just click on a couple of these and check them out. This house is, yeah, so some of these houses we might have to do. Goodness gracious, let's look at this thing. What in the world? What are those called? Not a duvet. Maybe it's a duvet. I feel like that's a duvet cover. Yeah, I don't know. Side-by-side toilets. So you can be really close to your significant other. This house looks like Miami Vice in the Ozarks. Look at this thing. Miami Vice of Lake of the Ozarks. Interesting, right? So you might have to do a little remodeling in some of these places when you get in there, but man, I didn't see that coming. Interesting property. What in the world? There's a racquetball court somewhere in the basement of this house. Look at that. That's literally a racquetball court in their house. Well, that just goes to show you that I don't scroll through these pictures before I do all of this. That's wild. This is a Miami Vice house in the Ozarks. Imagine what you could do with that space. I mean, obviously you can play racquetball, but you could do some other stuff too. Look at that outdoor shuffleboard, koi pond. You got your boat down there. So I don't know, gang. This one might need a little bit more love than we're willing to put into it. That was wild. So you can kind of see some options, right? The further you move down the water, what those things could be. Again, we know inventory is a little low now. See, I think this is a good option too. Great floor plan, wide open, well kept, clean, tons of room. Yep, so this is a really good option. Big water views, stuff like that, right? I think it's connecting the dots to kind of say, hey, this is what's available. And then you take it off lake, right? So you can look at some things that are, maybe you have lake access, but you don't want to live directly on the water. There's clearly going to be a lot of those opportunities too. You can come down towards the Osage area, and you're going to get stuff kind of more like this. This is a, clearly a property that has some commercial build on it. We talk to a lot of people that are looking for outbuildings and, shops and those kinds of things. But as soon as you step off the lake into a lot of these properties, you're going to have a lot of property, right? You're going to have a lot of space and, elbow room and acreage and all sorts of stuff once you step away from the water. And so there's a big desire to, get down in this area, but not necessarily be directly on the water. And by not being directly on the water, you're clearly going to have more of some acreage and more of kind of a homestead feel if you wanted to try to create that. And look at this house. Talk about homestead. I don't know where this thing is, but your neighbor's probably wondering what's going on here. So cool house, right? This one is probably in town. Oh, this is in Eldon. I haven't been up to Eldon yet, but I hear it's a really cool little town, and this kind of just goes to prove that point. Look at that unique house. I mean, that's just kind of freaking cool. So look at this thing. You got a fireplace in your kitchen. See, my wife would like that too. You got a hot tub back there. Yeah, so don't show the wife this one. No, we move on. So you can tell just by looking at some of these pictures on this side, a lot of space, a lot more yard, a lot more, elbow room and land and those kinds of things. And so just trying to connect the dots, just trying to show options, get you an idea of what things look like. And I think really the point of, so this one's cool too. You have your home, but then you have kind of that shed and outbuilding as well, which is really cool. A lot of choices. You scroll back out again, look at the overall view. 50-ish homes that are between 650 and 850, lakefront and off-lake options. That just kind of shows inventory is a little bit low, but it is wintertime. As you would move through the winter, you would clearly start to see a increase in listings. And then again, you just want to be poised in position to do that. So just wanted to show my screen, pinpoint a few of those things, help you connect some dots. We'll jump out of here and we'll finish up in just a little bit. Well, there you have it, guys, right? Just wanted to, again, try to connect the dots and show you what's available today, but more importantly, with intention, right? Let you know how we're able to help you, right? So I've said it before, we're licensed lenders and agents. I love making the videos, but I love more to help you with your lending or real estate needs. And so, you know, I want you to call me, text me, email me. I'd love to do a Zoom call with you. Leave me comments down below. Whatever we can do to help you, right, is obviously what we're looking to do. So we know there's not a lot today, but there will be a lot in the future. So if there's anything I can do to help you with your home search to put you in a better position and more prepared in the future, obviously that's what I would love to do. So until then, we'll see you on the next video.